Hello, my name is Victoria. I'm 35 years old. I have a daughter, 11 years old. Her name is Katya. In order for her not to get upset, I have to be like an eternal engine. Guide and steer, the most optimistic. Just in case I do cry into my pillow, I am normal. It can be difficult for me, but calming pills help me. And laughter can extend your life, otherwise you will go crazy.
Потому что так можно просто кукуха уехать, а моя вообще, в принципе, отъезжает очень далеко. Надо что-то с ней делать.
Man, I had plans. That year, for the first time in 34 years of my life, everything finally fell into place. For 2 years, I went to a psychologist to have a successful life. Finally, great. A family and plans for the next 4 years. And suddenly, it felt like the ground was pulled out from under me. Just like that, there's nothing. Complete emptiness and calming pills. I have never dealt with my emotions on my own, not even once. I can't do it on my own. In these kind of situations, I need a doctor or pills. Otherwise, I become closed off. And now we have this situation that I can't part from. We live with someone, but I need a place for myself. At least some time for myself, not even a place. I don't have this. You don't know what to do because you don't understand anything. Although you understand a lot, but you can't explain it. Communication takes place in a flawed language. Right now, every step you take, and if you get a result in return, it feels like an insane record. That's a real record for me. Like looking at your new work contract, going to your new job, meeting new people, just wow. I always look for the good in people, even in my damn new job. I grew to like it. And you think to yourself that not everything is so difficult and sad at all. But at the same time, I will deny my friends and my fiancé because he stands in the way of my plans at that moment. I'm important now, and Katya. No friends, no one at all. I won't call anyone, I won't write anyone. That's normal for me. I have to talk to myself. I have to write it down, every move, everything that I want. This is not a map with your wishes, that doesn't work. You need a clear schedule. At least I need a clear schedule with a to-do list. If I don't have a plan, everything will be as chaotic as in my head. I won't survive in this chaos for a long time. I can smile like that for 2 weeks, laugh, and then that's it. I become closed off for the next month, only by schedule. I'm doing everything in my power, so I won't go crazy, so my daughter will be comfortable. Unlike me, she cries almost every night. She says, I want to go to my kitten, to my dad, to my granddad, my grandma. So as long as my internal engine is running, she does not stay in one place. She doesn't linger in this mood all the time. I was ready to leave because we have lived in Uzgorod for a month before we came here. I needed a month to understand that nothing good will come from hiding and listening to the sounds of explosions. Fear does nothing good. The more you are afraid, the more likely it is to happen. I had a little fever. I did some thinking. I googled countries that I like most. I don't like the heat. That's why I chose the Netherlands. I told my daughter there is a war, pack your stuff. She was crying because she didn't understand anything, and I was crying because I did understand. Of course, I didn't know that a war would start. That is so far from my alley. I had my own life, something like, don't bother me, I have my own world. Absolutely my own world. Just me and my daughter. Everything I have is for Katya. I've always wanted to give her the best life, better than I had. So even here, even under these circumstances, she's the only one that counts. I look at Katya and I see that she needs this or that and this, and only then I have a to-do list for tomorrow. I don't need much for myself. A pencil for my eyebrows and gloss for my lips. We wanted to go to Granddad too soon. We understood that we can't go there after I called him in the morning. That was after I had cried, hugged and packed my stuff. I can't remember what we put in our luggage. We were packing very fast on autopilot, without thinking. It all went so fast for everyone, I think. Throwing stuff in your luggage and looking at it, thinking, where am I going? I called my grandpa and asked, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm drinking coffee. There are tanks standing in the garden." He still lives there. It's an occupied territory now, Chernikovka, Zaporizhzhia Oblast. They just stand there in the garden. It's a good thing that he didn't plant anything yet. We arrived in Uzgorod, we stayed there with a moment. We got there cheerfully. Standing by the station for 2 days, we couldn't fit into the evacuation train. We stood and froze. On the 3rd day, we were pushed into the train. There were about 17 people in one coupe. I had no time to panic because my friend and our children were panicking. I had to grab all my strength, and so I did. I said, "Stay here," and I went to all the drivers to get information about which bus we needed to take. I was only panicking when I had to choose a country. When I had to choose where to go, that's when my body temperature went up. My body began to resist because I didn't want to leave. My granddad is in Ukraine. When all my friends left, I understood that it was time for us to leave too. One of my sisters in Moldova and the other one is in Italy. My mother stayed in Zaporizhzhia with my youngest sister. She doesn't seem to want to change anything. In principle, it is difficult to change something. I'm a person of habits. I love my market. I know every salesperson by name. I love my city. I love everything that I left behind. I really love it. I didn't want to leave it behind. To be honest, I worry the most for my grandpa. Because I understood that I might never see him again if I left. This has happened before with my one grandma and my other grandma. I couldn't say goodbye with none of them. I understood that it will be the same with my grandpa. But he's optimistical. He did some gardening. However, he can't withdraw money, he can't buy medication. After a month he got the medication, just him. There is no closet relative or man in the whole world for me, and there won't be. I'm sure of that. I'm closer to him than to my mother or anyone else. I don't know, do men like this still exist? That know all the answers to your stupid questions? He has all the solutions to all the questions. Well, yes, because of him, I didn't want to leave. My conscience wouldn't let me sit in one place. The thing that saved us from thinking about this in the first few days was helping others. Everyone gave all that they had, money, clothes. When you start helping people, you realize how important you are. You need to help as much as possible. Of course, I didn't want to part my ways with Alexei because we had big plans, a family and children, and here comes Vika. Well, that's it. Goodbye. We were supposed to get married on the 13th of August. We booked a hotel ahead, a photographer, a makeup artist, a hairstylist. Before that, I had changed the wedding date 33 times. I didn't want a wedding so bad that I purposely, this is not a secret, chose the wedding date a year ahead. During this year, I wanted to live, to see, and do everything in advance. Prepare myself mentally, externally, and physically. I wanted to have time. A few days before the war, I had chosen my wedding dress. And then suddenly, you need to pack your stuff and leave. So, I need to return my life. Although I like it here very much. Whatever happens, you look and think, how can you be sad in such beauty? The city where we stay, Duisburg, is very beautiful. You just drive and enjoy. Yes, damn, I like the salesman in H&M. He's a man and he's dressed like me. I really dig him, honestly. I was in such a bad mood that day, he lifted my spirit after a 3-minute conversation. I was smiling for half a day after that. It's not important for me where we live, here, there, in the middle, somewhere else. I need peace and have a solid ground under my feet. That's the most important thing for me. And how it will be, we will figure that out later. If only we could all just live together, that's the only thing that I want. Well, and also a bigger dog. And being together with my close ones. I never thought I could handle all of this, never.
Никогда.
I was always lucky, honestly. I always had friends.
Честно слово, мне всегда
If I had a
всегда были
question, I got an answer immediately.
только есть какой-то вопрос, и там есть на него сразу ответ. Я всегда знала,
I have never had enough money, but I have so many friends that all my questions can be solved.
что я могу все свои ответы спросить здесь узнать. Тут, ну, то есть я
I love to socialize. I enjoy this to the fullest.
общаться, мне это доставляет максимальное
I
удовольствие.
idolize
Я прямо в
everyone.
каждом человеке, наверное, нахожу, как это, идеализирую всех.
This can disappoint me sometimes, of course, but I don't talk about
Я об
that.
этом не говорю.
Socializing, it's a necessity to feel normal and comfortable. I arrived in our meeting place in Doetinchem, the chapel, because this is the place where you are understood.
Тебя уже понимают.
You don't have to make something up or invent something.
Придумывать что-то.
You don't even have to think how to
О том,
talk.
как разговаривать.
That's probably the most important thing. You came, you saw everyone, you understand that in fact you have everything that you need.
Всё, что нужно.
It's such an easy startup, from there to the rest of your life.
Интересная жизнь.